Oregon and Washington are on fire, and 2026 is now officially the worst wildfire year for both states since at least the year 2000. We're talking over 2 million acres burned across just those two states alone. And a dangerous new weather threat arrives this weekend. A major dry cold front, confirmed today by NIFC, is tracking into the inland northwest, with wind gusts expected to hit 50 miles per hour Saturday night. 50 miles per hour gusts, 10 to 20% humidity, near 100-degree temperatures. That's the combination firefighters call a worst-case scenario. Let's get right into it. Today is July 31st, 2026, and the country remains at National Preparedness Level 5, the maximum possible. The national numbers. The National Interagency Fire Center's Morning Situation Report, released today at 7:30 a.m. Mountain Time, confirms the following. 87 large fires are uncontained and actively burning across the country right now, with 7 new large incidents reported just yesterday. 4.8 million acres have burned in the U.S. so far in 2026, 133% of the 10-year average for this date. Only 3 fires were fully contained in the last 24 hours, 3 out of 87. The fire community is stretched to its absolute limit. 26,675 firefighters and support personnel are engaged nationwide, backed by 566 crews, 59 engines, and 195 helicopters. Oregon is the epicenter of this national crisis. 30 large fires are actively burning in that state alone, more than 1/3 of all large fires burning in the entire country. Oregon, fire by fire. The bench fire is the most dramatic development in today's report. It has grown to 65,130 acres and is now 32% contained, a massive jump from yesterday, having grown nearly 20,000 acres overnight. Located 4 miles south of Warm Springs in central Oregon, NIFC describes it as showing active fire behavior with short crown runs, group torching, and long-range spotting. Numerous residences and energy infrastructure are threatened. Evacuations and closures remain in effect, and the Confederated Tribes of Warm Springs have declared a state of emergency. The Grasshopper Fire in Mount Hood National Forest has grown to 21,576 acres with 0% containment, threatening numerous structures and critical infrastructure. Moving to eastern Oregon, the Fox Fire, 12 miles northeast of Huntington, is at 75,375 acres with 58% containment. Earlier this week, it forced the closure of Interstate 84 for roughly 70 miles between Baker City and Ontario. That closure has since been partially lifted. The Big Grass Fire, 25 miles southwest of Jordan Valley along the Oregon-Idaho border, has grown to 303,000 acres with 21% containment. Evacuations, area, road, and trail closures remain in effect, with numerous structures and critical infrastructure threatened. If you're in the Jordan Valley, Pleasant Valley, or South Mountain area in Owyhee County, Idaho, follow all guidance from the Owyhee County Sheriff's Office. The Roe Creek Complex in the Prineville BLM district is an additional concern at 304,000 acres and 46% contained, with evacuations in effect. And the Hagen Fire on the Umatilla National Forest, 26 miles east of Pendleton, is at 33,500 acres, just 3% contained, with energy infrastructure threatened. Washington, 11 uncontained large fires. In Washington state, 11 large fires are uncontained. The Kaiser Canyon Fire is the state's largest, at 129,678 acres and 29% containment. It's managed by a complex incident management team, with a second team from Alaska currently mobilizing to join the response. This is a Tier 1 priority fire. NIFC describes it as showing active fire behavior with uphill runs, flanking, and short-range spotting, with numerous structures threatened and evacuations and road closures in effect. The Modrite Fire in northeastern Washington, 17 miles southwest of Enchelium, has grown to 21,249 acres with 27% containment, showing extreme fire behavior, short crown runs, uphill runs, group torching. 15 structures have already been lost, and evacuations remain in effect. The Birdine Hill Fire near Kettle Falls in Stevens County, 17 miles southwest of Colville, is at 4,168 acres with 7% containment. The Sinlahican Fire, 12 miles west of Tonasket, is at 11,316 acres with 0% containment and extreme fire behavior. Evacuations are in effect. Washington's 11 large uncontained fires also include the Ptarmigan Fire and Border 2 in North Cascades National Park, the Lund Fire also in North Cascades, and the Skyloo Fire near Packwood. The Northwest Geographic Area Coordination Center is itself at Preparedness Level 5, with 48 large incidents and nearly 18,000 assigned personnel in that area alone. International reinforcements. The international response is confirmed in today's NIFS report. A 15-person incident management team and 59 fire line management personnel from Australia and New Zealand are assigned, 74 total international specialists confirmed across large fires in the northwest area. Today's report also confirms 4 military C-130 air tankers, equipped with MAFs, modular airborne firefighting systems, have been deployed to Klamath Falls, Oregon and Redding, California, 2 from the 302nd Airlift Wing out of Colorado, 1 from the Wyoming Air National Guard, and 1 from the California Air National Guard. These are significant resources. The weekend weather threat. Now, the part fire managers are watching most closely, the weather forecast. This comes directly from NIF's Predictive Services section, and it's worth reading their exact language, because it matters. A major wind event will develop across the inland northwest on Saturday, NIF continues. This unseasonably strong weather system will result in widespread gusts of 35 to 50 miles per hour, with localized gusts exceeding 50 miles per hour for the high terrain. In their conclusion, widespread critical to locally extreme conditions can be expected. That's the National Interagency Fire Center's own language. Take it seriously. Multiple National Weather Service offices have issued fire weather watches for Saturday and Sunday, coordinated across Montana, Idaho, Oregon, and Washington. The wind event arrives Saturday morning across the inland northwest, builds through the afternoon, and peaks Saturday night as the frontal passage moves through. After the front passes Saturday night, strong westerly winds continue impacting the northern Rockies and portions of the northern Great Basin through Sunday. Here's what makes this a dry cold front, and why that distinction matters. The temperature drops, the wind comes, but the rain does not. Dry cold fronts are the most dangerous fire weather scenario there is, because firefighters get all the wind that disrupts containment lines with none of the moisture that would help suppress the fire. Fire weather watches are posted by NWS Missoula for the Kootenai, Flathead, Lolo, and Bitterroot National Forests through Sunday evening, NWS Great Falls for the Lewis and Clark National Forest, Rocky Mountain District, Chouteau and Fergus counties, and the Eastern Glacier area through Sunday. NWS Billings for the Gallatin National Forest and Wheatland, Sweetgrass, Stillwater, Yellowstone, Golden Valley, and Musselshell counties through Sunday evening. NWS Boise for Idaho fire zones including the Eastern Payette National Forest and the Owyhee Mountains through Saturday evening, and NWS Pocatello for the Upper Snake River Valley, the Sawtooth Range, the East Salmon River Mountains, and the Chalice National Forest through Sunday. The counterintuitive twist. Here's a piece of this forecast that directly affects eastern Washington. Western Washington will actually receive rare early August rainfall on Saturday, as a marine push from an offshore low-pressure system brings clouds and rain to the Puget Sound area, unusual for early August, and being watched closely. The problem, that same pressure system is what drives the strong westerly winds east of the Cascades into eastern Washington, exactly where Kaiser Canyon and Sinlahaken are burning. The rain falling on Seattle provides zero benefit to the fire zones east of the Cascades. That air remains critically dry despite the rain event on the west side. Fire weather watches are also posted for the Blue Mountains of both Oregon and Washington through Saturday, covering the Grande Ronde Valley, Eagle Cap Wilderness, and the John Day Valley. Temperature and humidity, by the numbers. Straight from today's NIF's Predictive Services section, highs at lower elevations across the desert southwest will run 105 to 120 degrees Fahrenheit, with locally up to 125 degrees Fahrenheit possible. Temperatures near or above 100 degrees Fahrenheit will spread northward through Northern California, the Northern Great Basin, the West Slope, and Montana, east of the Continental Divide. In the northwest, NIFS forecasts maximum temperatures climbing 5 to 15 degrees above normal, generally in the 85 to 95 degrees Fahrenheit range. On humidity, NIFSI reports minimum relative humidity between 3 and 15% for much of inland California, the Great Basin, southwest Wyoming, and the West Slope. 3% relative humidity is near the lower bound of what instruments can even measure outdoors. Fine fuels become explosive at that point, and any spark can lead to rapid fire growth. The inland Northwest and Northern Rockies will see relative humidity drop to 10 to 20% during peak afternoon hours Saturday and Sunday. Combine that with 35 to 50 miles per hour winds, and you get exactly what NIF describes as widespread, critical to locally extreme fire weather conditions. No relief in sight. The extended forecast doesn't offer meaningful relief. NIFIC confirmed today that fire managers remain focused on readiness for new starts, and August historically brings continued large fire potential. No significant rainfall is expected across Pacific Northwest fire zones this coming week. Only isolated afternoon mountain thunderstorms are possible, and those can spark new fires through dry lightning. NIFC's regional outlook for the Northwest confirms above-normal wildfire risk will persist through early fall. This is not a situation that resolves in days. How we got here. Some context on what created this crisis. 8 western states set record low snowpack on April 1st this year, according to NIF's predictive services team. Washington's snowpack was gone by June 26th, 3 weeks ahead of normal, which cured wildland fuels significantly ahead of schedule and pushed the fire season to begin earlier and harder than historical averages. Year to date, 44,000 fires have burned 4.8 million acres nationally, 128% of the 10-year average fire count, and 133% of the average acreage. Action items before Saturday's wind arrives. For anyone in the fire regions of Oregon, Washington, Idaho, and Montana, here are your action items directly from fire management officials. Register for your county emergency alert system tonight. Okanogan County, Wasco County, Harney County, Malheur County. Do this now if you haven't already. Know your evacuation zone level. Level 1 means be ready. Level 2 means be set to leave immediately. Level 3 means go now, do not wait. Keep your gas tank full at all times. In a fire emergency, gas stations along evacuation routes may be closed or overwhelmed. Full tank every night. Prepare a go bag, essential medications, copies of important documents, water, and enough supplies for 72 hours. Keep it by the door. If a level 3 order is issued for your area, leave immediately. Emergency personnel cannot guarantee door-to-door notification during a fast-moving event. NIFC also specifically asks the public not to create new ignitions, check fire restrictions before any outdoor activity, no campfires unless explicitly permitted in your area, and watch out for equipment sparks from trailer chains, exhaust systems, and off-road vehicles, all of which have started fires this season. Every human-caused ignition diverts firefighters from existing incidents. Quickly, the rest of the country. The Southern Plains, Dallas, Oklahoma City, Houston, will see well above normal temperatures, with heat index values above 105 degrees Fahrenheit. The Four Corners region, Colorado, Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, sees monsoon thunderstorms this weekend, with NIFS noting an uptick in mainly wet thunderstorm activity from the Front Range into eastern New Mexico. The Midwest will see thunderstorms for the Ozark Plateau and lower Mississippi River Valley this weekend, some potentially strong. Check local NWS forecasts. The Northeast is near to below normal temperature-wise. New York, Boston, and Philadelphia have no extreme weather concerns this weekend. The tropics remain quiet as of today. The bottom line. To close, today's NIF situation report confirms National Preparedness Level 5, 87 uncontained large fires, and 4.8 million acres burned year to date. The weather forecast, confirmed by NIFC's predictive services and corroborated by multiple NWS fire weather watches, calls for a major, unseasonably strong wind event Saturday. 30 large fires in Oregon, 11 in Washington, the Bench Fire at 65,000 acres, Big Grass at 303,000, Kaiser Canyon at 130,000, widespread wind gusts of 35 to 50 miles per hour and locally above 50 on high terrain, combined with 3 to 20% humidity. Critical to extreme fire weather. This is a developing situation. I'll post a Saturday morning update once the wind event begins and we can see the actual fire response. Turn notifications on for the firefighters assigned to these fires tonight, the 74 international specialists who crossed the Pacific to help, and the 18,000 personnel in the Northwest area alone. Thank you. If today's forecast was useful to you, like it, subscribe, and turn notifications on. I'll see you Saturday. Stay safe out there. Take care of each other.